Formula racing garners a lot of views every season. It's divided into F1, F2, F3, and FA. Formula 1 is where the pressure is absolutely insane. Nyck de Vries' life turned around when he got drafted by the Formula team Williams to fill injured Alex Albon's spot. He saw the opportunity and he took it. Now, let's talk about how it played out. First off, what went down with Alex Albon, the original Williams racing player? Alex Albon was drafted by Williams Racing to race in the Italian Grand Prix F1 tournament. He was all set to partner up with Nicholas Latifi until he fell sick on Saturday morning, not too long before the big match, and had to be taken to the hospital. Doctors diagnosed Albon with appendicitis, and he has started on treatment ASAP. In all this chaos, Williams had no choice but to replace him for the upcoming tournament, and they were lucky enough that de Vries was on the field since he was set to make an appearance for Aston in the F1 tournament. Overnight, Nyck went from Aston to Williams. As far as Albon is concerned, Williams reported that he was in good spirits and would be back on his feet in no time. Following up, what was Nyck de Vries doing in Monza? It was written in the stars. What happened for Nyck on Saturday was nothing short of a crazy miracle. It was also all very sudden. Originally, Nyck de Vries was supposed to do a test run for Aston Martin. He started out his journey with Aston on Friday and ended it the same day as well. Before anyone could even realize, Williams had swooped him right from under Aston Martin's nose. He went from a green jersey to a blue one. De Vries was filling a rookie spot for Aston Martin and Sebastian Vettel so the team could meet the FIA requirements. He had lost all hope of ever having a Formula 1 seat since he has always been remembered by Formula racing teams when they needed someone to fill up a vacant spot. We can't believe the 2019 F2 Championship winner has had it so hard in the F1 world. Moving on, Nyck de Vries responds to all fan queries post-F1 debut race. After his big debut, de Vries is being bombarded with the same questions over and over again. Everyone wants to know if this 27-year-old racer will finally get a seat in the F1 Championship in 2023 or not. So we saw a couple of his interviews and gathered all the answers for you. De Vries is overwhelmed with joy, as a part of him is still finding it hard to believe that he came under 10 in his debut race. De Vries calls the whole experience surreal and like a dream. He also can't stop gushing over winning the Driver of the Day title after the race. De Vries talks about executing a good race, scoring points in his debut, and how amazing the praise feels for his achievement. We aren't shocked he did so well. A man who has won every other championship except Formula 1 should be able to secure a spot in the top 10. De Vries was also asked about his future and what he thinks is going to happen, especially since many teams, including Williams, still have several spots open for their complete driver lineups. On that note, let's compare Nyck's feelings pre- and post-debut race. Nyck talked to the press about his future in a very indirect way, and we got the feeling it was because he was afraid to jinx it. He gave no certain answer. All he talked about was how the decision isn't in his hands, but whatever is decided, he will do his job like the professional racer he is. Before his big debut, Nyck had talked about feeling hopeless and stuck. He also mentioned how he thinks there are younger racers in the market now, and most teams are always looking to draft someone young over someone who has spent most of his career as a reserve driver for Formula 1. He also talked about being only as good as your last race. Oops, awkward for Nicholas Latifi, and he thinks he earned the opportunity that he got, and to quote him, "I grabbed this opportunity with both hands." Looking at the roller coaster of emotions he has gone through, we truly hope his debut means the start of his F1 career, even though we still feel like Nyck doesn't want to get his hopes up, because instead of talking about his dreams, he laid down a rational answer, where he again mentioned how competitive the Formula racing industry was. Let's talk about how well de Vries raced in the Italian Grand Prix. It took a long time for Nyck to catch a big break, but he finally caught one yesterday. He went from being a reserve driver to having a seat in the F1 race and Nicholas Latifi as his partner. Let's establish one thing. This was Nyck de Vries' first time racing for F1, but he's been around for quite some time. He owns the 2021 Formula E Championship title and the 2019 F2 Championship title. To win a whole tournament, you need to be pretty good, we think. At least he'd win every race against us. On September 11th, de Vries made his F1 debut under Williams Racing, and he did not disappoint. In fact, he raced better than his partner Latifi. In all fairness, Nicholas Latifi has been struggling this season, and with Albon out of the picture, Nyck was no less than a knight in shining armor. Nyck's debut was a 2019 flashback for Latifi when he lost the F2 championship to de Vries. De Vries finished 9th in place, Nicholas Latifi finished 16th in place, and about 33% of Williams' scoreboard this season are points gained by de Vries, which is amazing for a newbie. Everyone was shocked to see a newbie perform so well. Verstappen made the following comments about de Vries' debut post-race. For Nyck to jump in and deliver this performance, it's not easy at all, and he did a great job. I'm very happy for him. Now on to other news. Nicholas Latifi's career as Williams racer seems uncertain. Ever since Nyck de Vries made his debut in the Italian Grand Prix final and managed to score way better than Latifi, a regular Formula 1 racer, there have been talks about what this means for Latifi's career. Losing to a newbie in any walk of life burns a lot, and here, the whole world could see it happen. Williams is being asked by critics and fans to reevaluate their decision about drafting Nicholas. Fans want the racer sacked. They say he lacks the pace to stick it out in Formula One racing. Everyone, including Damon Hill, feels like Nicholas Latifi's time in F1 racing is up, and Damon refuses to feel bad about it. He says, "This is just how it has to be. Oh, the man is getting sacked for sure." All this criticism from former racers, critics, and fans alike is likely to put Williams under pressure. On the other hand, Latifi only has positive things to say about de Vries racing. Says Nick picked up a good pace at the right time. Only if we knew what Nicholas was actually thinking. But okay, we wish Latifi the best of luck. We think he might need it. F1 and FIA discussed the Italian Grand Prix car safety controversy. The Italian Grand Prix held at Monza came with its fair share of regulation violations this season. Max Verstappen took home the championship title this year, but a lot of people are mad about how it was done. The safety car came onto the scene 5 laps away from the end of the race, and there just wasn't enough time for the safety car to do its thing. They decided to let the show go on, which violated the rules of FIA and the Formula One Championship. This issue has been since brought forward, and even the Italian Grand Prix was brought to an end abruptly because of the safety violations. No decision is yet to be made, but a summit has been formed to discuss this issue. Charles Leclerc is upset and also number 1 in practice 1. Leclerc drove a Ferrari 1-2 while topping the timesheets this weekend. His Ferrari was ahead of Carlos Sainz, a team that was already under pressure because they were competing in their homeland. Regardless, they still showed a promising pace. Charles Leclerc may not have been able to win the F1 race, but he was still at the top in practice 1. Speaking of the F1 final, Leclerc is very frustrated about the safety car issue since it came in between his plans to challenge Max Verstappen for a late match. He thinks the safety car messed with his chances of winning the final race, but is still set on ending Verstappen's streak. We love Charles's drive, no pun intended. That's a wrap for this video. Do you think it's time for Nyck de Vries to get the spotlight he deserves? Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.